Hello there, Yauheniya. Fantastic work. Sorry for the confusion, but we don't correct the S's that you've corrected. Okay. Um, we've got about 8 corrections normally if you in your course, and the ones that we've corrected and then ask you to implement the corrections for we don't look at. That's more for you just to consolidate what we've been sharing, what we've been teaching you. So sorry about the confusion there. I'd still recommend you implement those corrections all the same because it's still you're going to get best benefit from the course if you do that. Video conferencing, which has become increasingly popular for business, is generally well done for the relative clause there. Is generally well received worldwide, yet there can be some drawbacks such as a lack of personal interaction. Excellent. And well done for using the negative verb rather than the negative construction. Genius. Okay, yeah, you can put your opinion here, but just make sure you make it relevant to the essay. Okay, because I can put that into an essay about global warming, about crime, about education. The examiners can kind of spot these sentences that are just empty. So you've got to make it relevant to the topic. Okay, so something like I strongly believe that the benefits such as reduced cost outnumber the outweigh, because we've only mentioned one, outweigh the downsides such as I don't know what else, such as a perceived coldness, okay, or something like that. Okay, but what I'm saying is just make sure you put something in that's relevant to the topic. As I say, you cover both sides by using examples from the IMF. Okay, we have show points to support arguments. Okay, okay. So here we could even say from the IMF and and um, the software industry, comma, to demonstrate points and support arguments. If we do it like that, not only does it make it correct, as in we've got plural examples, because it sounds like we're going to use 2 examples from the IMF, but we don't. So we say using examples from the IMF and software industry, and then adding that extra example, we've made it parallel, and that's one of the advanced skills we talk about later in the course. Right, I'd skip ahead, just watch those tutorials about writing like a native English speaker. On the one hand, there is ample evidence that online communication has a plethora of positive sides. Beautiful. The central reason behind it is twofold. Okay, firstly, it is less time consuming. Okay, second, you can develop that point. Okay, and I think I would have done actually in this paragraph just to make it a little bit fatter, to make it a little bit more extensive and developed. Okay, and we just say this is because you no longer have to travel across the city. You can also pack more meetings in, one after the other without travel time. And finally, it is most definitely what are the time advantage? Um, I don't know. Just saying we've got 3, and then um, we could say furthermore. Okay, but what I'm saying is just it's usually a good idea just to develop a small point like this. Secondly, how do we develop it? Well, we ask ourselves why, and then we can come up with an answer such as travel times across the city. Secondly, online interaction offers a dramatically cost-effective way of communication across the globe. Okay, good. For example, it has been shown in a recent because we're just talking about one of many, not the specific one, in a recent IMS study that the cost of a conventional face-to-face meeting for an average international company is twice as high as that of video. I'd go as far as like, I mean, if it's $500 to go to London from New York, okay, then you're saying a video call is 250. So video calls probably much cheaper. So I'd say I don't know 10 times as high. Okay, with its preserved. Okay, that doesn't sound as good. Okay, with roughly the same rate of effectiveness. Okay, or even or with a slight, although with a slightly less rate of effectiveness. Therefore, it is possible to state beyond doubt that it makes a convincing case in favor of online interaction. Okay, just Yeah, therefore, it is possible to state beyond doubt that online conferencing makes a convincing case. Okay, that using the technology, or let's see, that this makes a convincing case in this. Yeah, that's it. This makes a convincing case in favor of online interaction. Okay, great work. But as I said, we're still nearer to the basic template. And if we're going for band 7, we need slightly longer body paragraphs. So just consider putting in a few more reasons and developing 1 or 2 reasons. Okay. On the other hand, it can also be seen that such challenges, such as technical problems, different time zones, and a lack of non-verbal communication might be a powerful deterrent to delivering a business pitch successfully. Beautiful. So you've got this beautiful list full of topic-specific vocabulary, and you've got amazing, um, uh, just an amazing sentence. Again, grammatically accurate and topic-specific vocabulary in topics. Well done. This is largely due to the fact that even if state-of-the-art technology providing smooth transmission of massive data is widely acknowledged, um, okay, so we don't need the yet because we've got even if. Okay, so let's see. Even if state-of-the-art technology providing smooth transmission of massive data is widely acknowledged, the majority of companies face a variety of technical issues. So maybe just review how to use even if and yet. Okay, for example, excellent. So you've mentioned a point, and now you've gone on to develop it, which is fantastic. For example, outdated software could considerably hamper remote connections, consequently affecting the productivity of a meeting and eventually final results. Beautiful. Because it is conclusively clear that some operating system issues. Okay, let's okay, good, yeah. Sorry. Thus, it is conclusively clear that some operating system issues while using the video conferencing might cause. Okay, I'm just going to pause it and think about this one. Okay, the problem I'm finding is that is this some people, or are we just talking about some operating systems such as Windows and Mac might have problems? So let me just see again. Listen, it's conclusively clear that. Okay, yeah, we'll just delete that, or just get specific. That some technical. All right, thus it is conclusively clear that some technical operating system issues, and I'd get rid of that while using the might cause, or even better, just turns it into a person. So thus it is conclusively clear that some people may encounter technical operating system issues while using video conferencing, and this might cause more negative implications for the business product. Beautiful. Okay. Or so thus it is conclusively clear that some technical operating system issues. Yeah, what I said before is probably the best way to phrase that. In conclusion, although there could be some technical issues for online connection, the advantages of internet communication still outweigh the disadvantages, comma, comma. This enables colleagues. Okay, so just reorganize this sentence so the advantages part goes close to this. So put the. Okay, so let's just see. In conclusion, although there could be some technical issues for online connection, the advantages of internet communication still outweigh the disadvantages. Okay, so this is what we want to do. The advantages, such as enabling colleagues to interact with each other in a more convenient way, still outweigh the disadvantages. You see? And then we just reorganized it for clarity. And this is an improvement more than a correction. Okay, because we got the advantages here. So put those next to that. Yeah. It just makes it easier to read. It is predicted that the proportion of these advanced forms of communication for business purposes will grow in the near future in both developed and developing countries. Beautiful. Okay. There you. I think it'd just be easy if we said something like, it is predicted that the trend of online community creation for business purposes will continue to grow in the near future in both developed and developing countries. Okay, great work, though. The pie chart demonstrates the data about popular school subjects in Germany in the year 2017. We're clearly seeing that PE out of the history in terms of popularity, but by only 0.5%, making it to the top of the most favorite subjects were exactly 22.9 out of 10. Okay, so this part, okay, it's just like a little addition, and it's kind of sandwiched again in the middle of the main point. The main point is that PE is the most popular with 22.9%, however, only 0.5% more popular than the next nearest subject, which was, and then say it, okay? And this way we're keeping the concept of the main idea in one sentence all close together, and then additional points are just near the end of the sentence, or maybe even at the beginning of the sentence, but the main idea is kept all together, and there's no sort of like interjected thoughts or ideas. See? And this just makes for better reading. It's also better to write like this as well. Also better to communicate. Precisely 19.5% of German children cited math as their favorite class. Be careful about spelling. Okay, anyhow, it's their favorite. Okay, well, they were just, well, done with using a conjunction, while there were just 1.4% less students who took physics throughout the period in question. Beautiful. Another salient point to mention is that natural science subjects such as biology and geography are less popular in German schools in 2017. These subjects, because we just mentioned them, we can say, we can use the object pronoun, these subjects were called the favorite subjects by only 7.1% and 6.4% of pupils, respectively. Good. Which put them in the 6th and 7th place of ranking. Okay, or which ranked them 6th and 7th overall, full stop. Finally, IT with 3.7 was the least popular. Okay, so master the subjunction, master the superlative, sorry. It's incredibly useful. Another point, have a look at the academic course, because we haven't, I can see you haven't read it, because we could group some of the information together, like you have done here, but we could say with around 7%, okay, almost 4%. That's what I want to see in your next essay, nearly 20%, okay? Also, to increase your grammatical range and accuracy, and you'll probably improve your lexical resource score as well, is if we just like put almost 4%, okay, and just write it out, something like this. Okay, but when we start a sentence with the written form, all the other stats are in the written form. We don't mix it with the number form. Sorry, with the number form afterwards. Okay, we keep it all numbers like you have been doing. Okay, or we keep it all written. And I want to see more variety, and I want to see those fancy sentences, such as this is almost double that of the previous year, or this is 3 times the amount for geography. These kinds of sentences. Okay, so have a look at the Academic Task 1 course. So great work there, Yauheniya. Sorry for the misunderstanding. Keep moving forward. You know what to do now. Implement all the corrections that you heard. Update your error correction list. Write 2 new essays. Check them for essays check them for mistakes that you made previously. Send it all together in one email. Your corrected essay, your updated error list, and your new essays. And all together in one essay, in one email to us, and we'll get it back to you as soon as possible. Keep moving forward. You're doing super.